We're pretty darn smart. So why do we let ourselves be trapped into thinking we can't solve big crises like hunger, poverty, war, catastrophic climate change? We already know how to solve them, and we have everything we need to fix them. We just need to find the will. For me, impossible is the red flag in front of the bull. You say it can't be done? I'll take that enormous leap just to prove you wrong. I love this quote from Muhammad Ali. Impossible is not a fact, it's an opinion. Impossible is not a declaration, it's a dare. When something fails, as this train did, ask tough questions like, why did it fail before? What has changed? Where do we find project champions? Who can we partner with to make this happen? What else needs to change to move it forward? Runaway development is like that runaway train. I personally started the movement that saved this mountain. People said, there's nothing we can do. I thought winning would take 5 years, but by making the struggle about values and resources, we saved it in just 13 months. Here are some more questions to move us from failure to success. How do we test for success? How can all stakeholders own and support the change process? How do we make successful change permanent? Think about what other questions you can ask to create that kind of a change in your organization or in your planet. Dump limiting beliefs. My house was built in 1743, and at that time we thought you couldn't go faster than a horse. We had no railroads, no cars. Now the International Space Station flies over our heads at more than 17,000 miles per hour. Wow. Here's the key. These huge issues are about resource use. With an abundance frame, they're solvable. Nature's growth isn't linear. It's exponential. One kernel becomes a 10-foot cornstalk with a dozen ears, each with 1,000 new kernels, 12,000 plants from a single seed. Work backward from the goal. For Edison, inventing the light bulb involved discarding more than 9,000 ways that didn't work. He always kept the real goals in mind, to add more productive hours to the day, to create more joy, and to monetize his work. And he did it. Similarly, Steve Jobs reinvented at least 3 industries. He never said, make a better Walkman. He told his engineers to find a way to put 10,000 songs in a device that fit in a pocket. Like Edison, his iPod team reverse engineered from the goal. And serving a life sentence, Nelson Mandela envisioned beyond ending apartheid to replace revenge with unity in a free South Africa. In a deeply divided, terrified country, this influenced everything from the Truth and Reconciliation Commission to the national rugby team. If we don't shift, we'll get mass starvation, millions of preventable environmental deaths, riots against the power structure. As businesses, we can replace these horrible outcomes with much better ones and profit from that leadership, as these next examples demonstrate. As I said earlier, these huge problems are fundamentally resource issues. Technology can turn scarcity into abundance, not just for tangible resources like food, energy, and water, but for things like education, wellness, creativity. It's all about the spark. This near net zero house near Aspen, Colorado is 34 years old. Cold weather powers Aspen's economy, but this house, warm enough to grow bananas, doesn't need a furnace. What would our country's carbon footprint look like if all the housing built since 1984 followed those principles? Sustainability is keeping things the same, but that isn't enough. The profit opportunities for our businesses and the chances for society to thrive are in regenerativity, making things better. And this coal pollution cleaning skyscraper proves we already know how. Designed for multiple benefits, just one profitable product, solar LED lights to replace kerosene, reduces toxics, eliminates severe fire hazard, abolishes a recurring cost, creates jobs, and builds the economy, all at the same time. Simply replacing narrow, curvy pipes with wide, straight ones eliminated enough friction to get rid of several valves and pumps, saving 92% of the energy in that process. Deep conservation lets us create these savings over and over again. Ingredients: water, dead flies. If this web were human scale, it could stop a jet plane. Nature has solved every problem better than we have, while strengthening ecosystems. Engineering for success means studying and modeling nature. In other words, biomimicry. Here's Dean Saikon, CEO of Western Mass's own Dean's Beans, fostering peace in an African coffee village. Not only is every bean organic and fairly traded since founding the company in the 90s, he funds community-led development projects in every supplier community. In 6 minutes, I can only offer a tiny glimpse of how business can heal the world for fun and profit. Endorsed by Seth Godin and Jack Canfield, my 10th book, Guerrilla Marketing to Heal the World, offers practical ideas for Fortune 50 down to solopreneurs. As Ira said, I brought a few to sell, and I'm happy to sign one for you. And how can you maximize impact and profit? You don't have to figure it out yourself. Got an idea you want to flesh out? I'll give you 15 minutes free. The flyers on that table have my contact information. Thanks so much, and thanks to Ira for putting on this amazing Western Mass debut of this kind of event.